Hello everyone, we are here in Midrand today at Axiz, at the Axiz Hub, and I'm going to have a conversation with two very important people here at Axiz that have recently spent some time with CompTIA working through our ITIQ skills gap assessment. So with me today I have Andrew Moodley as well as Charity Setlaku, and I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves and their role here at Axiz, and then we're going to chat a little bit about their experience using the skills gap assessment. Andrew, Charity, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. Shall we start with you, Andrew? You've been the one who contacted us and instigated this whole relationship. Tell us a little bit more about your role here and why you contacted us.
Well, it's interesting for me because I know the name CompTIA. Well, I knew the name CompTIA, but after meeting you, I learned that I didn't know that much. But what was interesting for me is that when I started my career a long time ago, and I did my professional training in networking and in security, the CompTIA brand was kind of there. Yeah. And then when I saw some of Paul McGavin's videos and his association with your organization, my interest was piqued to go, what's going on? What is CompTIA doing? And then that's how we got involved together. And I think for me, what's been really enjoyable is that what I knew about CompTIA, I've learned so much more. What I remember about CompTIA is still valid. You are the organization that certifies and enables people. So I'm quite excited about the opportunity I've had to re-engage with your brand and reignite my passion again for certification and training. And in Axiz as well, I'm the Chief Digital and Marketing Officer. So I'm curious always about how we can get our organization future fit. How do we get our people future fit? And how do we get our partners future fit? And CompTIA looks like a wonderful avenue that we're going to continue pursuing to enable our channel and our organization.
Great introduction. Thank you, Andrew.
Sure.
Charity?
Yes. All right. So I'm Charity Setlaku. I'm the Learning and Development Manager for Axiz, and I oversee the skills development for the group. Right. So my role is predominantly looking at the skill set that we have, and we look at the gaps based on the current and the future skills that the business needs. So we assess, we plan, and we implement, and in between we report. So I'm very excited that we embarked on this journey with CompTIA because we need a science behind everything that we do, you know. So this is part of assessment that we very proud of because we're able to produce the results with the science that we can prove, you know, so it's very exciting to be part of this initiative.
Yeah.
I want you to highlight the positives of the assessment because wherever we go, I think from the individual, from the employee's point of view, they're always scared of testing, thinking it might be a negative thing. But there's a lot of positives that come from the assessment as well. Do you want to share some of those?
I think Charity can share a lot more on the detail.
Yes.
Perhaps I can share maybe what happened 5 minutes before we contacted you, which is we as an organization have a diversity of skills and capability, and we employ people from all walks of life that have either been at a partner or vendor or in another industry. And what we were struggling with as an organization, we were doing okay, but we weren't doing great at how do we align our staff, the new people, and the people that are around to what's great. How do we get everybody to point in the right direction? So that was something we were looking for. And then Charity and I had a conversation about CompTIA and what she was doing in her organization, and then she can tell you what we've seen from the assessments. But for me, it was an opportunity to do something better than we were doing before.
Yeah. So we looked at technical and sales, right?
Yeah.
And what we did was then with each role, we had different assessments based on the levels and the roles. And the employees, then they went through the assessment, and based on the results that we analyzed with the executive team, based on what is relevant for the business, we're able to benchmark. I think the main objective is also to benchmark what we currently have with what we would like to look like, you know, in future.
We made a conscious decision when Charity and I were presenting the information to our executive team. One of the very conscious outcomes we were looking for is that we're going to use this to help us get up a level as an organization. We're going to use this to get us up with our current staff and also with potentially all the new entrants into the organization. What we're not going to use it for is to chastise the ones that don't perform well and reward just the ones that perform well. We use it to get everybody up a level.
Yes.
So it was a conscious choice that we made what we want to do with the data, that it was not going to be used as a stick, but it's going to be used something to enhance the organization. And I think that was important because the employees felt that. They felt that when they took the assessment and after they'd done it, nothing bad happened. Nothing weird happened. What did happen though is your executive or your line manager sat with you and said, hey, guess what we're going to do next? And that was quite awesome.
And to assure employees that it's really to help the business and to help themselves as well. You know, because as Andrew has mentioned before, we don't know what type of skill set we have without proper data, right? So I think it's just to make them comfortable and reassure them that we need to have science behind the skill set within the business. So it was just to make sure that, you know, they have nothing to worry about, but it's good intentions, you know, it's with good intentions.
It was also important to get the hugging people to conduct the assessments. It wasn't management's going, you will do this assessment. It was our human resource department
friend.
Let's engage, and this is to help you. And it's coming from our learning department. So it's not a evaluation of performance, it's an enhancement of capability that we're looking for. So it was pretty cool.
Did you have any individuals, did you see any results that you think, oh, I never knew I had this skill in this
100%.
person? And
Yeah, of course.
we get that
100%.
often when we do the assessment for a company. So
100%,
you had that.
yes. I think also it's very interesting because that will also help us to plan better because someone could be beneficial in other areas in the business, you know, because they're more technically inclined and they don't necessarily utilize that technical abilities that they currently have. So it's very interesting that we can play around with the results and make it beneficial for the business and for the employee.
What was interesting for me is, and also because one of the highest scoring people is in my team.
Of course.
Of course. But with her in particular, we've kind of made a job change because we realize she is capable of more. And sometimes you don't know what's inherent in a person. And then when we established that she's got this passion and ambition to know about this other stuff we didn't know about, she was doing her private studies. It gave her an opportunity. She's traveling at the moment, representing us on the continent on a technology. And before she was just a salesperson, and not to say just a salesperson, but representing us just on a sales function, now also representing the technology as well. So it's been interesting for us to see, like I mentioned before, the diversity of skills we have, but also being able to align these skills to an industry standard so that we know where people are at. So instead of it just being gut feel and discretion, our management team now is empowered to go, we have this. We can, with confidence, design services and solutions, knowing that we've got a skills base to support it.
Absolutely.
It's been wonderful for us from that perspective.
So, as you know, the CompTIA certifications are developed by people in the industry doing the jobs that your teams do, and it's job role based, which made it so much easier for you to do. The thing that you did that was different from most companies that I do the assessment is you actually included people that weren't technical. So, can you tell me why you decided that and how it worked out for you?
That was Charity's brilliant idea.
Because, you know, we sell technology, right? As an account manager, it's very important also to know the technology that you're selling, right? You might not be able to give solution, but you need to understand the technology. So I think it's important for the business, for everyone, regardless of the position, to understand the technology because we are in that space.
And also, if one thinks about it, and like I said, it was Charity's idea, we want people to be technically aware if they are in a role that's non-technical. But what was fortunate for us was CompTIA allowed us to do that. So it wasn't just that we went like, hey, all of you, you've got to go and figure out this technical certification, you sales, account managers, etc. It was that the assessment allowed us to gauge where people are at that are not just technical people. So for us as a technology company, we want people, like Charity said, to be aware, but we never had a mechanism before of evaluating that constructively. So that was also the opportunity that CompTIA provided to us with the assessment.
So because it drills down into details and tasks for the job role, you can disregard certain areas that are maybe not applicable, but you can also look at it's all about knowledge. Hey?
Yes,
So
exactly.
for some people, it's not about the hands-on, but it's about the knowledge,
Yes.
and that will help them to do their job better because
Yes.
they understand a bit better.
Absolutely. We
100%.
learned as an organization as well. As you know, we did our first round assessments
Yes.
and we evaluated the data. And then what it exposed to us is that we could extend this to a larger audience in the organization. So we went through the second round of assessments. One, to true up the data, to give us a better feel for the organization, but also we saw the opportunity to engage more people in the organization.
Yes.
So we are quite excited about what it's going to do for us now and what it's already done for some of the people in our organization. But also we're excited about the opportunity that it creates, knowing where our staff complements are at, and also being able to help them define new careers or enhance careers for themselves as well. It's awesome, especially because it's so widespread, from cloud to security, from networking to printers. It's so diverse that it gives everybody the opportunity to be more.
And also, just to add on what Andrew has said, you know, we are able to attract the talent,
Yes.
you know, because we know exactly what we're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are busy, you told me just before we started chatting, with your workplace skills plan.
Yes.
Yes.
And obviously the assessment results came at the perfect time to help you with your planning. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, very important, because, you know, we don't just want to conduct a workplace skills plan as a ticking box
Yes.
for compliance reasons, but it's very important that we're able to ascertain the training we need as a company. So it was, I mean, like you said, the timing is
Yeah.
you know, is perfect, because it definitely will help us. Yeah.
I'll tell you an inside joke. I haven't asked Charity's permission, but I'm sure she'll be fine. In all the years Charity and I have worked together, the workplace skills plan has always been a terrible experience for me. And I'm like, come on, Charity, there must be a better way.
Yeah.
And this year there was a better way.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Because it wasn't me guessing what
Yeah.
my team needed. You
Yes.
don't know where people are at.
Yes.
Well, most of the time you don't know where people are at. And also from HR's perspective, you want to include the person,
Yeah.
but how do you determine where the person's at
Yes.
for where their aspiration is? And that's what the assessment helped us do,
Yeah.
is help some people navigate their future training from a more objective perspective than just, I feel I should know more, or I
Yeah.
feel that I could know more. It's about, now we know what you could know more about because we know where you are at.
Yes.
And it was quite awesome. It was quite a
Yeah.
painless,
Yeah.
less painful experience
Yeah.
than previously.
I'm glad it helped
Yeah.
you. So if you can give advice to any other companies in terms of the assessment, what would you say to them?
Do it. Do it is important. It's going to benefit your business. It's going to benefit your workforce. It's very important to have data. Very, very
Yes.
important. Yeah. I think companies should really look into it. And also, it's free. And with the help of you, Lorraine, you're able to also track it every day. You would give me stats in
Yes.
terms of the progress. So we're able to go back to the employees that did not complete the assessment to do that. So your support was very key as well. And, you know, you've been there holding our hands throughout the initiative. So I'd say to other companies, they need to really look
Yeah.
into it.
It was very nice for me the first time I came to do the assessment results of the first group we did, to meet all the line managers obviously in the room. Because that conversation that we have when we look at the results,
Yeah.
and we can actually chat to each one of them and how it applies, what's important to them. So that process was really important.
Yes.
Very much
Yes.
so. I have really enjoyed working with you, and
Thank you.
obviously it doesn't stop here. I'm sure we're
Yes,
going to do a lot more
absolutely.
together. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us today and to share your experience with anybody else
Yeah.
out there.
And thank you, CompTIA, for giving us this opportunity, for engaging with us,
It's a
for
pleasure.
providing the assessment to us, and also for your patience through the
it's
process. We've really enjoyed you openly answering our questions and guiding us. So thank you so much for that.
And that concludes our discussion today with Andrew and Charity. I had an absolutely great time working with Axiz over the last couple of months, and obviously it doesn't end there. And we would encourage anybody else who's interested in doing the assessment to contact CompTIA. If you would like to talk to Andrew or Charity in terms of their experience, if they haven't answered anything today, please let us know and comment on our videos below. Thank you.